Have you ever ran through a bush of poison ivy and you were so itchy and it was so painful that you could have sworn that it was going to come out of your skin and you yourself were going to turn into ivy? If you ever find yourself running through a big patch of poison ivy, you might get a poison ivy infection and it just might pop out of your skin. To start everything off, you of course have to match your eyebrows with whatever color your hair is. Today I'm wearing a red wig, so of course I have to have red eyebrows. If you don't have extremely blonde eyebrows like me, you can block them out. There are many different tutorials on YouTube that teach you how to do this, but I just want you to make sure that you don't use liquid latex because that will rip the hair out of your skin. After priming my eyes, I'm using a light green eyeshadow in the crease of my eye, and I'm blending that out, and that sets it as a base for our gradient. After that, I'm using a darker green and I'm just going closer to the crease. I'm not blending it as close to my eyebrow. And I decided it wasn't dark enough, so I went back with a black eyeshadow and I put that the closest to my crease as I could. I added the black in because I wanted the green to be a very prominent gradient. Then I just picked a neon green color and I put it all over the lid. I just packed it in, nothing crazy. Next was a long, really thin wing because I wanted to elongate my eyes and make them look very wide. Add some dramatic lashes. Line the inner corner of your eye. I did not have any green lipstick, so I just used a water-activated body paint for this. And I just darkened it up with a cream liner. You could also use a black eyeshadow or a dark green eyeshadow, whatever works best for you. I decided that my eyes didn't look sexy enough, so I went back and I lined my waterline with a black liner. I lightly contoured the hollows of my cheeks with a green eyeshadow. You're gonna need some tissue. Separate the layers. You're also gonna need some liquid latex. Use a wedge sponge to apply the first layer. Tear the tissue and apply a thin layer of latex on top of the tissue. Be careful not to blend too far, like I did. That's gonna hurt. Let it completely dry before you apply the second layer, or else it will take even longer to dry and it will be extremely sticky. I used translucent powder to take away the shine. I also did the same steps on my cheek and on my hand. I did that off camera. Cover the white parts of the tissue with concealer or foundation so that it looks more like your skin instead of tissue. The yellow hue of the leftover latex will really add to the effect that this whole thing is an infection. Take some murder tools and poke a hole in yourself, but be careful not to hurt your real skin. Time for the plants. I separated the stems and I took off a couple leaves so that it was a longer stem. I dipped it into some latex and I stuffed it in my chest holes. I took a wedge sponge without any liquid latex and I tore off some of the pieces on top. This makes the paint that I'm going to use look like veins. I'm using water-activated paints, but you could also use alcohol-activated paints or cream paints or crayons. I'm not sure if crayons would work, but you can try it. I'm putting black the closest to the wounds, and then I'm mixing black and red to make the skin look a little more irritated. I'm laying out the veins I made with the gelatin, and I'm cutting them to size so that it looks like there's going to be more plants that are going to burst out of my skin. I put down a thin layer of latex, And I set them down and I put another thin layer over them to kind of build up a wall to make it look like my actual skin. And I made a mess. Once they dried, I powdered them to get rid of any shine. I used whatever color was left over on my wedge sponge to color the veins. Don't forget to go behind the leaves so that it is an all-over circle effect of the infection. Finish it off with some scab blood. And there it is, you guys. You have officially been infected with poison ivy. Good luck with that rash, friends.
Tinkerbell!
Think of it. Hello.